Welcome back to Digs of the Day, episode 34. I'm DJ Tricks, and we're going to get right into some stuff I picked up again at Goodwill and Swap Meet mostly. Some I bought at a record shop, a local record shop, and a lot of these I buy. I'm going to share about that many, which is about 20. And just so people understand, a lot of times I'll go through maybe a couple of hundred records and not buy anything. So it's not like I'm just buying a whole bunch of junk. Even though some people might consider this junk, it's actually music that is captivating, captivates moments in history, and that's what music's always been about: is taking an era, a culture, and sharing it in the art form of music. The first one I got is the Miracles, "Do It Baby." You guys are already familiar with the Miracles' work. Like the cover, how it's supposed to be the thing like of an Exodus, I believe, the parting of the sea from the Bible. I'm thinking that's what they're trying to do there. If you can kind of see it there, cool album, man. Growing up, I always liked the Miracles. I believe Smokey Robinson was one of the Miracles at one time, so always good to find their albums for $1. Another one I got was Al Green, "Living for You." I know I got one of these already, so cool to buy another one. Got this one at the Goodwill too for 99 cents, so I'll probably be selling that one. And if you would like to buy it, let me know. And I could get it out to you. Obviously, shipping is always $4 with tracking. Another one I got was All Day Music by War. Famous cover there of them by the liquor store there in Harbor City, California. Good album. This one usually has a poster. I don't know if this one's going to have it. I have several of the posters already. Let's see if it's in this one. It's actually not. It's all right. I've bought this album before with no record and the poster. So I ain't gonna do nothing with the posters anyway. Maybe when I was in my teens, I might have hung it on the wall. I believe I did that. Probably ruined my dad's poster. War, All Day Music, another good one to always find. Can't go wrong with War. Another one I got was Double Exposure by 10%. I don't even know where I got this album. I see the Goodwill sticker there, but I don't remember buying it, so I don't know nothing about it. If you guys know anything about Double Exposure 10%, feel free to let us know. Another one I got was Norma Jean. Never heard of it, but it looks promising. African American woman on the cover, it's probably going to be pretty good. Another one I got was Roberta Flack featuring Donny Hathaway. I don't know how many of these I have, but please, somebody take them off my hands and before I use them as frisbees. Another one I got is Blue Magic's Greatest Hits, The Magic of the Blue. Side shows on here: Welcome to the Club, Spell, Three Ring Circus. Can't go wrong with Blue Magic for $1, right? Remember when those records were like $10 back in the 80s? Another one I got was Thad Jones and Mel Lewis, Potpourri. It's on Philadelphia International Records, so that's pretty cool. Still haven't heard it, so some cool records. Jermaine. I brought this record home. I was teasing my daughter. I was like, check this record out. This is Michael Jackson's brother. I was like, don't you want to have that in your room on your dresser, that cover there? Man, the things they were putting on covers back in the 70s or early 80s. So I don't know, man. It's a Goodwill find. I don't know. I guess somebody would be interested in it for the album cover. I'm guessing. I don't know. Another one I got was Fifth Dimension, "Living Together, Growing Together." This one I actually paid $7.98 for, and when I played it, I wasn't really happy with it. I got it because of the Raggedy Ann dolls there. You can see them there, the black Raggedy Ann dolls. And I let this album play both sides about 2 times, and I was like, oh gosh, $7.98. Hopefully it's worth 20, and I can at least get my money back. This album here is the best of Rothschild Roland Kirk. Don't know nothing about it. It's on Atlantic Records. If you guys know anything about it, let me know. It's jazz, so it must be good. It's got to be good, right? It's got the whole story in the back about jazz in the 60s and who Roland Kirk was. A lot there to read. Don't really feel like reading out loud, so if you're interested in him or you want to know, just Google his name. This one here was a dollar. I got it at Book Off. I see the sticker there. Masters of Dixieland Volume 2. Looks like it says Jack T. Garden. Has Wolverine Blues on there. Weary River. Dr. Jazz. Dallas Blues. I was at the post office one day and I was mailing out some records, and a guy seen me, an older gentleman, and he's like, "Oh, those are records in those little boxes." So I go, "Yeah, actually they are." And then he started saying he was from New Orleans, and I was like, "Oh man, the home, the birthplace of jazz." And I started asking him questions. We ended up talking for like 20 minutes, and he told me a bunch of stuff I kind of knew about jazz artists, like who to look out for. But one thing that he told me to always look out for was Dixieland jazz. Even though I'm not a big fan of it, he convinced me that Dixieland jazz is something worth collecting. I don't see too many of the records Dixieland jazz, and when I do, they're either not good looking albums as far as the artwork and the labels, or they're too old looking as far as the 30s or the 40s or the 50s, or the artists just don't look appealing, things like that. But when I find stuff that looks appealing to me and it looks like it may be good and it's only a dollar, I take a chance on it. And some of the stuff I like, actually. It's kind of like has that Disneyland type jazz sound. I don't know if that makes sense, but yeah, Another one I found was Doobie Gray, Sealed for Protection. Yeah. Brooke Benton, Today. This next one was pretty awesome find. Al Pachuco. Found this at the Goodwill. This is an expensive record, actually, so don't really want to comment too much about it, but I remember this album when it came out. My dad has it. He has the one with the carriage cart. That's the one with the shoes on it. But Al Pachuco, you guys already know what it is if you know anything about Latin type oldies. Another one I found was Dramatics 10 and a half. Can't go wrong with anything Dramatics ever. Another one I found was Keith Emerson, Honky. Turned out to be kind of a pricey album on eBay at one point at least. Haven't checked again. Another one I got was Dave Brubeck Quartet. This one is the West Side Story. You guys already know who Dave Brubeck is. One of my older cousins turned me on and said, "Bro, you need to buy Dave Brubeck records." So I've been buying them ever since. Another one I got was a record called Buddies by, it looks like it says Spetcher. Spetcher and Emmons. This album is actually pretty good, man. I played it, and it's pretty tight, man. I took a chance on this when I looked at it. It was only $1 at Book Off, and I was like, "Yo, man, this album is ill. It's probably the best album I shared today." This album is tight right there. Another one I got was Al Wilson, Show and Tell. You guys already know Show and Tell. It's got Queen of the Ghetto on there, My Song, Broken Home, Moonlight, A Song for You. So this is a pretty cool find right here, Show and Tell. And lastly, I found was Glorious Gloria Lynn on Everest Records. I don't know much about it. Looks like it might be gospel. I'm not sure, but that looks very interesting right there. So those were my finds for episode 34. I hope something there encouraged you somehow or brought back an old memory. And that's what shows like this are: vinyl hauls and digs of the day and crate digger shows, vinyl record shows. There's so many of them online. And we do this because we love finding things that are worth money, really, or that are worth listening to. There's a lot of music out there available to us on iTunes and Spotify and YouTube, but some of the stuff I share, the stuff that's under the radar, that's been unheard, unknown for 20 to 30 years, and when people like us, like myself and others, share some of these albums, it brings back these artists back to life. Like, for instance, Glorious Gloria Lynn. I've never heard of her, but guess what? Right now we're finding out something about her, that she made an album. And she has songs called April in Paris, Stormy Monday Blues, A Long Day, Without a Song, Bye Bye Blackbird, They Didn't Believe Me. And when we do that, now you guys could actually look her up and we could learn something and pass it on to a whole new generation. So that's why I encourage you guys to buy records. Buy wisely. When I buy, I leave a lot of stuff behind. Good stuff too. Stuff that I have already, or stuff that I just leave stuff behind all the time. And just buy cautiously. I don't like going into record shops and dropping $100 or $80 on a record or 5 records. I usually don't ever do that unless it's something I really, really need to have. And there's some stuff out there I really, really need to have. But for the most part, I try to buy records that are only worth $1, that they're selling only for $1, that I know that are worth 10, 15, 20, 50, $80. In other words, they're like baseball cards. Their value can go up in time, and it usually does. So yeah, just keep digging, share, let me know what I need to get, and I would appreciate that. And a lot of times I watch shows like Crate Diggers and other shows like that, and then I see stuff I never knew existed, and then when I go out digging, I find them, and I'm like, wow, I just seen this on a show last night. Like I'll share this one. I shared this on episode 21, Drum Drops. I didn't even know anything about this record, but a guy was talking about it, and man, crazy. That week I went out and I found it. I was like, dude, I never knew this record existed. And then if it wasn't for that guy sharing that Drum Drops record, I would have never knew existed. So that's what it's about, man. Go out there, dig, share, and we could grow together. Thanks for tuning in. Digs of the Day, episode 34. I'm DJ Tricks. See you on the next one.